Let's be honest for a moment. If your current logo reveals resemble the rigid transitions of a primary school presentation, we need to fix that. Over the next 6 minutes, we are going to build a sleek, basic line draw logo reveal using a property called Trim Paths. The goal is to command a programmatic path to trace the outline of your logo from scratch. But a drawn line is useless if it moves like a stiff robot running out of battery. That rigid movement is the default state for most animation software. We can rescue the animation by applying basic velocity and easing in the speed graph. Look at the difference. On the left, a rigid line draws. On the right, the exact same line flows smoothly into position. Mastering these curves is the technical requirement for producing the fluid, organic movement expected in high-end commercial work. Preparation happens before we touch an animation tool. Import your pre-separated vector logo. Select those layers, right-click, and execute Create Shapes from Vector Layer. Emphatically, do not leave all your lines lumped together into one single messy layer. To create a sequential reveal, every individual line or letter needs its own dedicated shape layer, so we can control the timing of each stroke separately. Proper asset preparation is the foundation of complex motion. If you skip this step now, your timeline will become an unmanageable disaster 10 minutes from now. Now that our shapes are ready, toggle open the Shape Layer menu. Click the Add button and select Trim Paths. This property allows you to define exactly how the software mathematically grows a path from a starting point to an end point. Move your playhead to 0 seconds, drop the end value to 0%, and click the stopwatch to set your first linear keyframe. Next, drag the timeline indicator to the 2-second mark and push the end value up to 100%. The lines now draw themselves onto the screen. However, this basic function immediately exposes the robotic feel of default software interpolation. Hit the spacebar and play that back. Watch the jarring mechanical movement as it begins and ends. We call this linear interpolation. The speed of the drawing line remains perfectly mathematically constant from the first frame to the last. Take a look at your timeline. Those diamond-shaped keyframes are the visual indicators of this rigid, unnatural motion. The problem is basic physics. In the real world, all physical objects are governed by weight and friction. Nothing starts moving at top speed instantly, and nothing stops instantly unless it hits a solid wall. To make this logo feel alive, we have to move past linear math and program artificial gravity and friction directly into the keyframes. Highlight those diamond keyframes and press F9 on your keyboard to activate Easy Ease. Notice the visual shift in your timeline. Those diamonds transform into hourglass icons, signaling that basic easing has been applied. Now open the Graph Editor and select Edit Speed Graph. The vertical y-axis measures speed in pixels per second, while the horizontal x-axis represents time. Click a keyframe to reveal the yellow Bezier handles and pull them horizontally toward the timeline center. This modification changes the velocity curve into a steep mountain peak. That shape dictates the physical motion on screen, executing a slow ease-in, followed by a fast acceleration at the peak, and finally a smooth deceleration to a stop. This workflow allows you to bend linear math into organic, dynamic art. Close the Graph Editor, hit the spacebar, and watch the playback. Your line animation now has real velocity and flow. Now for the final professional compositing step. Select all of your animated line layers, right-click, and pre-compose them into one master group. Place that pre-comp directly above your original, fully colored logo layer, and set the original logo to use the pre-comp as a track mat. The original brand colors and textures now reveal themselves by following the precise, custom-eased paths you just built. At this exact moment, you should manually save your project before After Effects inevitably crashes. Surviving the speed graph is the process that transforms a standard project into a deliberate, custom-timed sequence.